Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I'm going to be doing a review on Megamind. So, Megamind is a DreamWorks animated film and is the third DreamWorks animated film to be released in 2010. And it came out in the year, well, like what I said, 2010. And it's directed by Tom McGrath, and it stars Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, Jonah Hill, Brad Pitt, David Cross, Justin Theroux, Ben Stiller, J.K. Simmons, etc. One of the greatest cast ensembles for an animated film, period. And Megamind tells the story of this supervillain named Megamind who, well, pretty much has the same origin story as Superman, but with a twist. He lands at yeah he lands at this this prison facility where he actually is being trained to be a villain thanks to his thanks to the other people in prison. And so yeah, Megamind believes that his destiny is to become a supervillain, although he has no idea what his father said when he was like, oh, you're destined to become, and then like he couldn't finish his sentence and all that stuff. And then he had the exact same origin story as Metro Man. Yeah, they both they were both on their pods on the way to Earth, and then apparently Metro Man got to be with the rich guys. Yeah, Metro Man got to be with the rich family where Mega Man could have ended up in, and so yeah, Metro Man becomes the hero, and both Mega Man and Metro Man become rivals. But when Mega Man actually defeats Metro Man, he realizes that he actually couldn't wasn't able to find a purpose in his life besides being a super villain. So yeah, when Metro Man actually quote unquote dies, Mega Man tries to find something else in his life as he has nothing else. He ends up having this crush on a girl named woman named Roxanne, who apparently Roxanne likes this guy library guy named Bernard, and then Roxanne's cameraman Hal Stewart actually has a crush on her. And so yeah yeah, Mega Mind feels like he needs a love interest because that's the only thing he thinks he can do in his life. But actually, Tina Fey doesn't want Mega Mind because heroes can't, no, villains don't get the girl. And so one day, when he sees that Hal wants to be with Roxanne, Megamind turns Hal into a superhero named Titan, but believing that Titan can actually become the new Metro Man to be able to face Megamind. But then Hal actually is the complete opposite of Metro Man because he actually uses he only became a volunteer to become a superhero just to get Roxanne, but all else failed. And so yeah and so when it turns out that Mega Man was actually pretending to be Bernard to date Roxanne, Hal big turns into a super villain, and he literally destroys the world, and and so Megamind then realizes that his destiny is to become a hero, and he becomes a hero and saves everyone. So that's basically the plot for it. So I'm sure you'll know why I'm reviewing Megamind. Yeah, you all know what's coming out. But let's not bring up its quote unquote sequel. Yeah, let's focus more on Megamind. At the time when this movie came out, this was people said this was just this is solid. It's alright. Like this is a movie I'm just gonna watch once and forget about. Yeah, that's what people thought. And this movie was a box office flop. Yeah, this is one of DreamWorks' big major flops. Yeah, I believe it was because this movie was barely marketed. Well, DreamWorks just to be fair, DreamWorks just sucks at marketing their movies. I mean, they're only literally marketing Kung Fu Panda 4 just a week before its initial release. Which yeah, I hope Kung Fu Panda 4 does good at the box office, but maybe it will because it's Kung Fu Panda. But then again, it's competing with Dune Part 2, so it's kind of in danger. But yeah, and you saw what happened with the films like Rise of the Guardians and Rise of the Guardians and Ruby Gilman Teenage Kraken, where both movies like flopped due to like DreamWorks just not caring to market them. And yeah, the same thing happened with Megamind. It flopped, and yeah, people say people assume that the other reasons why this movie flopped is because it released way too close to other DreamWorks movies like the DreamWorks animated movies like How to Train Dragon and Shrek Forever After, both big franchise movies from DreamWorks. Well, How to Train Dragon was going to be a big franchise in the future, but yeah, 2010 was certainly overcrowded with DreamWorks animated films. So, yeah. And also, people some say it's because of Despicable Me, another movie that had the same premise about a supervillain who realized that his destiny is to become a superhero, and he faces off against yeah, yeah, a lot. There has been a lot of comparisons with Megamind and Despicable Me. I'll give you my comparison later on in the review. Yeah, so despite this movie not getting the recognition it deserved at the time, now this at not like this in this decade, people actually start to give Megamind some recognition. People are actually giving Megamind a cult following now. People are talking about it. And you want to know why this movie's getting so much attention now? Well, it was technically 2 years ago, in 2022. If we, yeah, 2022, when Queen Elizabeth II passed away. Yeah, there was a scene in the movie where Hal was telling what Roxanne, there is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England. Yeah, emphasize the and there is no Queen of England. Yeah, considering that he said that there's no Queen of England, and then the Queen of England actually passed away in 2022. People have been memeing to death. People have been memeing that people have been memeing that part right there. That yeah, people have been memeing that because yeah, and that's honestly what made people that meme is actually what made people look back to Megamind 2 and realize how great it actually is, and some would even go as far as calling this their favorite DreamWorks movie. And also there's also this other meme where with a no B I'm not gonna cuss in this one because I'm not gonna cuss in this one for now for this video because my mom's home and I don't know if she can actually hear me or not, but yeah, don't worry, I'm in my room and in private. But yeah, you know what meme I'm talking about. The meme that was popular before the Queen of England meme. But yeah, now let's get into my personal thoughts in the film. Yeah. Now, what do I think about Megamind? I absolutely love this movie. Megamind is such a masterpiece. And I cannot even believe how much I love this movie. Yeah, just like a lot of people, I was like, yeah, this is good, but there are way better DreamWorks movies out there. Yeah, I was like that, but now looking back at this film, now looking back at this film, well, oh wait, yeah, technically, earlier I said that the Queen of England died 2 years ago. It was actually just last year. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, this honestly is one of the absolute best DreamWorks movies ever made. Period. Yeah, this is honestly in my top 6 favorite DreamWorks movies. I wanted to put it in my top 5, but just thinking about the 5 DreamWorks movies I like better. Yeah, this would be number 6. In fact, I'd say this is technically my 7th favorite DreamWorks movie. But 6 because there's actually there's actually a certain spot in my top 5 that's actually tied. So yeah, and yes, there's actually one DreamWorks movie I'd controversially put this one above, and that is the Kung Fu Panda movies. Yep, I rank this above the Kung Fu Panda films. The Kung Fu Panda films. Yeah, I am actually planning to do my top 10 favorite DreamWorks movies videos. Animated movies when Kung Fu Panda 4 comes out. Maybe after my Kung Fu Panda review. But I will just say the DreamWorks movies. I think this isn't as good as in Rise of the Guardians. My personal favorite DreamWorks movie. The Prince of Egypt, the first two Shrek movies, How to Train Your Dragon 2 and How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3. Well, Shrek 1 and 2 are tied, but How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3, I'd put 2 above 3. And yes, and and I'm sure you know that this isn't the only animated movie to this is not the only animated movie to have the anti-heroes storyline as the anti-hero storyline as you got how do I say this? You got Despicable Me that came before this, and yeah, and the same year, and then you got Wreck It Ralph, which came 2 years after this. I honestly think that Megamind is the best of the three anti-hero animated movies. Maybe I'd say Wreck It Ralph is the most well made of them all, but I still think Wreck It Ralph is good but a bit overrated and does have flaws. It, 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 it does have flaws, but um yeah, Mega Man on the other hand, yeah, same. I feel the same way about Despicable Me one as I do with Mega Mind. Yeah, it's Mega Mind. Yeah, it's a great Despicable Me is a great film, but it's flawed. But Mega Mind on the other hand, I honestly have nothing to complain about this movie. I don't have any flaws with the movie. Maybe except the fact that this isn't really a movie I'm like passionate about that I would put as one of my favorite movies, one of the best movies ever. I don't even know if I would even put this in my top 10 favorite movies of 2010. It depends on how many movies there are, but I'd love to put this in the top 10. Yeah. Now let's get into what. Now it's one of the. Now let's get into what I love about Mega Man. Yeah, I already said that there's no flaws. There are no flaws. So now let's get into yeah, what's great about the film? It's one of those animated kids films that actually treats its audience with mature, no, treats audiences with respect and adds adult content so that the entire movie can appeal to both kids and adults. Honestly, that is actually what animated movies these days miss out on. Although I'm not gonna get into that animation is for babies. You already know I moved on from that, but what I'm trying to say is this is actually a very mature movie. I'm surprised by how mature this is. Yeah, sure, it is still a comedy movie. There are definitely some comedy bits here and there, but man, this is actually very mature. Yeah, when it comes to its writing and all that stuff. Yeah, the story is done. Is despite the story being a parody, it actually takes itself seriously and it actually works. Yes, there is still technically comedy in this movie. There are still some comedic bits to it, but the comedy in this movie actually works because the jokes in this movie land, but it focuses more on the seriousness and the story, a story about a hero's this is a story about a villain who tries to find himself. He thinks that he has no idea what his destiny is. He has no idea what his true identity is. So his goal throughout the movie is to find his true destiny. All thanks to him landing in the prison. Yeah, just that one coincidence, he actually becomes a villain. Yeah, and and then later on, he actually but then he realizes that he actually has a heart. Yeah, even if he's a villain, he even already after Metroman's death, he actually finds out that he has no purpose in life. So he pretty much develops throughout the movie to find his purpose in life, and he realizes that he actually wasn't born to be a villain, and he is born to be a hero. That is, wait, did I just say born to be a hero? He wasn't born to be a hero. I might say he wasn't born to be a villain. He was born to be a hero, and that is great character development right there. And the idea of just Megamind's father to Megamind's father to be interrupted. Megamind's father to not finish his sentence when he was like, "You are destined to you are destined for." That is actually a brilliant idea because that is how Megamind develops. Yeah, if if we actually hear Megamind's father what he actually said, then that would just ruin Megamind's character. Megamind's character development. Yeah, Megamind is one of DreamWorks' best written protagonist ever. Yeah, he's such a great super villain. And what else? And also, another great character development is Metro Man. Metro Man. Yeah. Metro Man isn't had less screen time than I initially thought, but Metro Man is still a great character because yeah, sure, he is a Superman parody and he is Mega Mind's rival, but but he's also very similar to Mega Man because he realized that he has no purpose in life other than he has no purpose in life other than being a superhero. So yeah, later on, so he eventually faked his death so he can be able to discover his own purpose in life. Then he realizes that it's more than just being a superhero, and he actually just wanted to retire. And instead of just telling audiences, telling the world, hey, I retired, I retired. Yeah, Metro Man just faked his death just so he can retire in secret. That is brilliance right there. And I know it seems like it's just like, oh, character come back to life cliche. Yeah, a lot of modern movies have that problem of bringing back dead characters, but how they did it with Metro Man is so clever, and it's so unique, and it actually does stand out from the others. And this movie came out at the time when the dead heroes are being brought back, being revealed to still be alive. Dead characters aren't really dead. Was a problem and an overused trope in movies. So Metro Man's Metro Man's arc was actually very investing. I also love Roxanne. She's probably the most likable character in the movie. As I love how positive she is most of the time, and she's able to read people. She knows what people are like inside. Yeah, although it did take her time to find out who Megamind truly is, like his true nature, that he's just a misunderstood person. He's meant to be a hero. Yeah, she actually she actually wants the world to be positive all the time, and that's what makes her so likable. And and even when destroys the world, Roxanne's like, since considering that Roxanne knew Hal for the longest time possible, Hal Roxanne's like, Hal, I know there's good in you. It's like he wants Hal to change instead of like keeping up being instead of just continuing to be his Titan self. Yeah, Titan self. And honestly, um, and speaking of Hal slash Titan, he is honestly my favorite character in the movie. Yeah, he is honestly my favorite DreamWorks villain ever. And no, and you might think it's probably only because of the meme, like there is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there's no Queen of England. Yeah, but he actually has such an interesting take on a superhero. He's basically like, what if superheroes become bad? What if superheroes use their powers irresponsibly? Yeah, um, irresponsibly. Yeah, Hal just shows Titan shows the negative side of superheroes, realizing that it shows the audiences that heroes aren't always perfect, and how and Titan serves an example of how not to be a superhero, where basically he's just he only used his wanted powers just for personal gain and to be with his girl and be with his girl, and he actually doesn't want to stay in the city. He just sits back in his that tiny apartment, playing Tetris and like distracted with doing other things he wants, anything else other than to and Megamind's like and and he also robbed the bank. Yeah, he wanted to be his one goal was to be with Roxanne, but apparently Roxanne likes other boys more than Hal. So Hal, that's how Hal became evil. Yeah, the whole I love the way that I love how they handle the whole men competing for this one woman trope. Yeah, yeah, that thing. And yeah, And yeah, I also love Minion and Bernard, but I don't have much to say about them. And yeah, um the voice acting. Honestly, this is some of the best. I said earlier that this is some of the best cast ensemble in an animated film. Well, I'd say this is some of the best voice acting in an animated film. Yeah, Will Ferrell. Honestly, yeah. Even though I said that Buddy was his from Elf was his best performance, and then I said that the CEO from Barbie is his best performance. Although why do you think Barbie is the best movie that Will Ferrell starred in? I actually think that Megamind is Will Ferrell's true best performance. Yeah, Will Ferrell was born to play Megamind, and even though it's just voice acting, Tina Fey is great. Jonah Hill, arguably my favorite Jonah Hill performance. Yeah, my as for Tina Fey, probably this is her second best performance. As her best performance is Mrs. Nobber in the Mean Girls, or both original and remake. And you even got Brad Pitt in this movie. Yeah, Brad Pitt, one of the greatest actors of all time. Yeah, Brad Pitt is one of those actors you would not expect to be in a movie like this. I mean, if Brad Pitt is in an animated movie, then I'd love to see Leonardo DiCaprio in an animated film too. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? And yeah, the animation. While I don't have much to say about the animation, it definitely holds up. The only although the only time the animation blew me away was in this scene where like he the one with the Mega Mind entrance to fighting Hell, and he's like presentation. Yeah, that was the animation with those holograms. Wow, but character designs are good. The animation, the city looks pretty good, but I don't have much to say about it. Honestly, and the action scenes. Honestly, the action scenes are probably the standout of the animation aspect, because how this movie handled animated action scenes, the action scenes, oh man, it is actually so great. I mean, the stakes in this movie actually feel really big, and it feels like you're actually watching fight scenes from a Marvel or DC movie. That's how high it is. Like the stakes, I truly felt the stakes in this movie. It feels like a really big movie. It feels like a really big movie. Yeah, and yeah. What else? And is there anything else I'd like to say? And yeah, well, remember earlier when I said that Hal has a that Hal is the best remix villain. Well, technically, it would depend on how you view Goldilocks. If you consider Goldilocks a DreamWorks villain, then yeah, Goldilocks is still my favorite DreamWorks villain. As she is my favorite, as she is my DreamWorks crush. And yeah, Puss in Boots is definitely gonna make it to my top 10 favorite DreamWorks movies list. Although I prefer Megamind, honestly. But yeah, I guess that's all. So overall, yeah. So overall, Megamind is an underappreciated masterpiece, and I'm so glad it's getting the cult following it deserves now. This is certainly one of the best DreamWorks movies. Period, and this is easily the best of the three DreamWorks movies that came out in 2010. Sorry, How to Train a Dragon. And honestly, I'm actually debating which I like better, this or Toy Story 2. Yeah, Toy Story 3 for like either the second or third spot. I'm still debating. Although you probably know my favorite animated film, of the year is Tangle, and Tangle will always be my favorite animated film of 2010. But even with that, yeah, Megamind is still a masterpiece, and 2010 is certainly one of DreamWorks' best years, as they were very consistent this year. Yeah, it's probably either 2010 or 2019. I consider their best year, or maybe 1998. Because they or maybe 2012, because Rise of the Guardians came out that year. So with that said, I'm going to give Megamind 5 stars out of 5. Perfect movie. So that's all for my review of Megamind. What are your thoughts on the film? Are you one of those people who gives this movie the cult following it deserves, the recognition it deserves, And would you and do you love Megamind, or are you with those people who thinks that it's just okay, solid, but nothing special? And who agrees that this is the best animated film? Who agrees that this is the best of the three DreamWorks animated films that come out in 2010? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for. Oh, stay tuned for my biggest rant on Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Oh boy, yeah. At least I got to talk about the good and proper Megamind movie. So yeah, bye guys.